Today, we have that hot and humid weather. A cold front that we're tracking is going to bring us some rain showers and thunderstorms. Then once that rain passes through, we're going to see some relief from that oppressive heat that we've been dealing with highs in the upper 80s and low 90s Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Peak heat indices anywhere between about 99 to 106, 107 degrees across 21 country. Out at the Fort Wayne International Airport on Monday, we recorded a peak heat index of 106 degrees, and we've still got some warm, humid air sitting on top of us this morning at the time of this recording, about 11:15, 11:20. The actual air temperature at Fort Wayne is already in the low 80s. Indianapolis is at 86 degrees. But you can see all of these 60s and 70s. Back off in Iowa, Minnesota, Wisconsin, that's that cooler air that's going to start to move towards us. Unfortunately, we've got about 24 hours until it gets here. So this afternoon, you should expect hot and humid weather. We've got highs in the mid to upper 80s across the area. It's going to feel like the mid 90s, possibly upper 90s for some locations, but at least through the afternoon, it's expected to be dry. Like I said, peak heating feels like temperatures 4:30, 5 o'clock, mid to upper 90s, with one or two locations expected to get to about 100 degrees for the feels like temperature. Since this is not as widespread, we have not issued a first alert weather day for today. We don't believe the heat's going to be as impactful as it was for the past couple of days. And the good news is this is, at least for the next 7 days, it looks like this is going to be the last of it, because you can see the feels like temperature, those hundreds start to shift off to the south, and then the 90s start to shift off to the south. This is now Friday, Saturday into Sunday, so we've got much more comfortable air that's going to be moving in for the weekend back behind the weather system that's currently moving into Illinois. This is the cold front that we're tracking, currently marching across the Great Plains, getting ready to cross the Mississippi and Missouri River. Those thunderstorms right now still several hours away. Peoria, Illinois, having to deal with them. Chicago, those storms aren't too far off. And since this line is expected to move in within the next, I would estimate 6 to 7 hours, maybe a little bit later than that, I don't know that it's going to lose too much strength, but I don't know that it's expected to get much stronger either. First alert future track showing we're still dry through about 5 o'clock tonight or so. And then by 6, 7 o'clock, we see that line of thunderstorms move into 21 country with one or two locations, and that's these spots in red where we could be talking about some heavy downpours, maybe a strong wind gust or two. That's definitely possible, but more widespread precipitation is expected during the early morning hours on Thursday before we see that weather system finally pass through by about lunchtime or so on Thursday. And then that sets us up for sunnier conditions, but then that less humid air and cooler air mass that we've been talking about for the past couple of minutes. I'm going to touch on this first as well before we get to the muggy meter, because that's really what you guys want to see. I know that's what I would like to see as well. The severe risk this evening, very low, but it's not zero. Like I mentioned, one or two of those thunderstorms could produce a strong wind gust, maybe some isolated flooding, but honestly, that's going to be one or two very isolated locations, really not expected to be a huge concern. And then once that weather system passes through, it's going to feel much more comfortable as we get into the weekend. Thursday, it's still going to be a little bit muggy, but Friday and Saturday, it's going to feel very, very comfortable. Now,